Yeah. Morning, everyone. So let's continue what we discussed last meeting. Okay. You can open your videos. I think we are only 3, so I don't think we have a problem. Okay, so you can open your Excel and we can practice for variable names. We have at least 3 possibilities on how to create a name range in Excel. So last time we have discussed how we enter the range name in Excel by putting the name in the name box. Okay, so I'll open Excel. And second way is actually to create a selection. It's not just one variable. Okay, if you put the name in the name box, it's in only one variable. If you have many variables, you can also give a name. Okay, for all of them in one slide. I'll give you an example here. Can you see my Excel? Say I have I will put here, for example, I have a name A, B, C, okay. And you want to calculate the quadratic formula, or say I want to calculate the discriminant. The formula for discriminant. So I will put value here 1, 2, 3. Okay, so okay, not discriminant, but I will just make it simple. So C times B plus A. Right? So what we will do is we give a name for this. So what you will do is you select all of them. Okay, you select all of them. And then you go to formula and create from selection. And it will ask, create the name from values in the left column. What is the meaning? Meaning the name is in the left column. Right? So when you click OK, what will happen? Nothing happen as if. But actually inside Excel, there is something happen. So when you go to the name manager, click this, you will see Excel creating a name, A, B, and C. Okay. Now, look at this, still what? Still the same, right? So now I will show you in here, I will do exactly the same formula, okay? But now instead of using this reference, okay, now I will do equal. Now you will see that this is now becomes C underscore, okay? Multiply by this one, it's now B plus A. And if you look at the formula now, become variables. And you see in the box here, okay? The name is now variables instead of reference. So in this way, you actually create similar to programming. So say in Python, next time we learn. Okay? So you can create name of variables. And of course, when you change the value, yeah, this is the value that you will change. So I give yellow. Okay. If you change the values here, then you can say we say F5, and the result will be different. So until here, is there any question? Can you do it, or you did it already?
I want to ask, what's the difference between the input and my word?
What is the difference between?
Input and my word when you open the name image.
The input, the name manager, yes.
Oh, it just, so we just change the name like that.
Yes.
Oh.
When we go to the name manager, okay, we will have the name here. The value will be reflected by the column D here. Okay. Say you change the value here, now become 16, for example, this is 15, this is 13. So you go to the name manager, it will be reflected. Okay. Now become 16, 15, 16.
Oh, okay.
So now go deeper. Okay. Excel does not allow you to edit this. Okay. Once you create, it will be in the scope of workbook. Okay. So if you want to make the variable in the scope of local worksheet, then you really need to define name here. If you now I will have I create a C2. Okay. Now I want to create again ABC. Okay. But if you name it ABC here, what will happen? So I will give another value here, 1, 2, 3 again. Okay. And we create the start from the formula, the same thing, left column. But remember, we are now in C2. Okay? So when you put here in C2, you will have two names of A and A. Okay? The values are different, but now the scope is in the C2 only. Can you see the difference? Okay. The scope is no longer in the workbook, but in the sheet. Okay. What's the meaning of this? The scope is in the sheet. Can you explain?
I think when the scope is only on a worksheet, then when we call that name on another sheet, it wouldn't do anything. Or for example, maybe on the other sheet there's another one that is called the same as that, then it will call the one on that sheet instead of this one because it's only on this sheet.
Correct. So what happens if I want to refer to this sheet 2 instead of sheet 1? For example, okay, I created sheet 3 now. So and then I will say A plus B. Which one is this? When see, Excel only give me one B instead of two B's.
The one on the workbook sheet, on the workbook scope.
Correct. So this is the it will give me 31. What is that 31 come from? The 31 come from here, the sheet 1, okay, which is 16 plus 15, right? Why? Because this is in the workbook sheet. Okay, the scope matter. Now, if I want to go in sheet 3 now, okay, if I want to get the A, okay, from sheet 2, this one, right? Plus this one in sheet 2, then you will see, okay, this is again A and B, but now the name will have the scope, okay, the name, the sheet is there, the sheet name is there, so sheet 2, okay, and then exclamation, and then the name of the variable. Okay, this is to refer to certain sheet. Okay, is it clear already? So now if you change this value, for example, instead of 1, 2, 3, now let's make it big, okay? So 100, 200, and 300. What we change in sheet 2 will be reflected in sheet 3. Now become 300. Okay. So is there any question? I think this is already known for you, or now you can also define directly in the name manager. Okay. So what is the advantage of defining in the name manager directly? For example, the third way is directly you will define in the name manager. So here, okay, so you create a new, and I give name, for example, F underscore. Okay. The advantage is now you can select, okay, the scope. For example, I will select it as sheet 3. Okay. Now I have the name as F, close it. Okay. Then I put value, for example, 6A is the value. Okay. And now I can refer to that as F. My question to you next, why I put the name as F underscore instead of F? What will happen if I give the name as F instead of F underscore? So what do you think?
I think F is already taken, right?
What is F? Taken by whom?
Taken by another function, probably.
No. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so let's do that by giving the name F directly. Okay, so if I put F, there is none, so it's not taken yet. But if I put this, for example, 1, 2, 3 here, okay, and I give name F, what will happen? Oh, it works. So I can give name F, and let us see what this F means. Oh, in the scope of workbook in sheet 3. So F is okay. So sometimes in Excel, okay, the name of variables can be conflicted with the name of the column. So if you only have one letter like this, better you put underscore so that sometimes you will not have conflict. For example, if you put C, it will have conflict with C. Okay. Okay, so next. Next. from the slide. Okay. Yeah, to create a selection, you must have a unique name. Okay. So in this example, I have a city name and sales, and then I highlight it and get all the names of the cities directly there. Right. But do you want to practice or you already know this?
Is it naming the cells into the city?
Yes, it will name the cells of P into.
Oh, so the name we create the name from selection. Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay, let's practice this. Okay, try this. So say you have a city name, Surabaya, Jakarta, Semarang, and so on. Okay, and then these are the sales. Okay. Then you can put any numbers anyway, any name, any number, and try that. And then you share the screen.
I have a question. So,
Please.
for example, you have named the cells, right? For example, Surabaya 7,000, Jakarta 8,000, but then you wanted to name the range. Do you select all or do you just select the names?
You want to rename or
You want to name the range. So like, for example, it's from A1 to A8. You want to name the whole range. Do you select only the names or do you select both with the numbers?
you select the range, you select everything. I give example. Okay, I'll give you example. Here is the name of the city. Can you see it?
You haven't shared your screen.
Okay. Say for example, this is the name of the city, right?
Yeah.
And okay, I will copy this. I'll create it in the new scene, okay? A new workbook. So if you look at this, in the formula, the name manager is still empty, right? And then now I select this and create from selection. Left column, okay. Now you go to the name manager, I have this. And what Joy asks is, you want to select, you want to name Surabaya into something else? Is that correct? Or
If I want to name the whole thing into something else. So for example,
you can do that. For example, this one, I will rename it into sales. Is that what you want? The whole thing, right?
I'm still on your other screen. I think. Practice 2. What's the Excel file?
Excel file is a new one. So
I can't see the new one. I'm seeing the practice 2.
oh yes, seeing practice too. Okay. So return that. Can you go to here? So I create a new one. Okay, I will copy this. I create new one. Okay, new workbook name book 3. Can you see the book 3?
Yeah.
Okay, copy and paste here. So now you see, I go to the formula, and the name manager still empty. Okay, there is no formula at all. There is no name. Right? So now I highlight this, then create from selection, right? Left column, I click OK. So, and then I go to the name manager. You see, I have all the names of the cities and the values. Okay. What you want is, I want to create this B2 to B9 into another name. Is that what you want?
Yeah.
So I did.
And it overlap.
Yes, overlap, no problem. So I put name sales here in the name box. Can you see? There. So I have sales here. So then I can put like this, for example, total, okay? Total sales, total sales. How is the total sales? Of course, it is the sum of the sales, isn't it? Here, I can see when I put SA, it will highlight me with sales. And then what I will do is just press the tab. Okay. And then close it. Then I get the total of the sales.
Okay, but sir, you also have you rename the city too, right? So like it's automatically Surabaya 7,000, Jakarta 5,000. If you rename the city, then do the same thing. Will it shows number or?
Yes, we can. For example, I want to get the sales of Surabaya, so yeah, plus Semarang, SMC. Yeah.
No, if you rename the.
If I rename, okay, if I rename this, so I need to delete first Surabaya. I will rename it to Surabaya. Like that. Is that what you want?
No. I mean, if you do the same thing to like you did, you rename sales from cell B2 to B9, right? Into sales like that. If you rename cells A2 to A9 into city and then type equal sum city, will it shows number?
You name this one.
Yeah, you name.
This
If
one
you
has
rename,
nothing.
oh, you cannot
you
rename.
You can rename this. Say, I rename this to Surabaya. It will not happen. It will not change anything because our name is not in A. Our name is in B.
Okay.
Okay. So this is like the helper column to create name from selection.
Okay.
But the name itself is not in A. The name is in B. All right. So, okay. So with this, actually, because now you have variables, okay, then you can start to calculate similar to other programming language like JavaScript or Python, correct? So that's why, okay, I give you the assignment, okay. So I give you the assignment to calculate given the latitude and longitude of any two cities. Okay. Now, can you compute the distance between the two cities? Okay. So, how do you do that? Okay. So, of course, to calculate distance, you will say, okay, distance is supposed to be square root of latitude minus latitude 1 minus latitude 2 square plus longitude 1 minus longitude 2 square, right? But remember, this is latitude and longitude, so the distance is in the pole, okay, of the Earth, right? It's not a straight distance. So in that case, we cannot calculate the distance as straight distance like that. So then there is a formula to calculate the distance in the sphere, okay, of the Earth. Okay. So I give you the, what do you call this? The formula from a website. Okay. So this is called Haversine distance. Is to calculate the distance between 2 points in the sphere. Okay. So the formula is there on the top Haversine. A represents the distance. Okay. Depending on the latitude, which is phi, okay, and the longitude, which is lambda. Right? So, of course, phi1 means the latitude of the first city. Phi2 is the latitude of the second city. Right? How about delta phi? That means the latitude of first city minus the second city. Yeah. So, or the second city minus the first city. But because we are using sine and cosine, right? Then you need to convert it into radian. The unit you need to convert it into radian. Okay, so how to convert into radian is to multiply by pi over 180. Right, so this is the formula there. So when you look at this as if this is a JavaScript, I cannot read. It's not really. Okay, the formula you can read. You know? Okay. So, for example, matpy. Okay. In JavaScript will be matpy, but in Excel will be simply pi. Pi only. Okay. Is there any question here? So you input the C and you input the T. Okay. And finally you will get the distance, or the distance will be in, the distance is T in meters. Okay. If the R, which is the radius of the Earth, okay, will be in meter. So I give you an example of that. Practice 2. That's all. No, I did not make it. Okay, so you try to do that assignment. Okay, I think Pancha has already submitted before the time. Thank you, Pancha. Do you think you can do it, Livy, Joy?
Yes, sir.
No problem, right?
Yeah.
Everything with mat dot you remove. Okay, so then you, for example, mat dot pi divided by 180. So what you will do is pi. Okay, so I will give you an example. So, for example, this is lat 1. Okay, say 121.3, for example. So if we have the formula here, lat 1 multiplied by pi divided 180. Okay, so what you will do is lat 1 multiplied by pi divided by 180. Oh, the pi is a function, so we put function there. Okay. Okay, try to do that. Huh? So using this, you can start to create your assignment. Okay, and the purpose of this assignment is to practice that you name it as a variable. Okay. So in here, if possible, don't put it as x4, but you can name it as lat1. So lat1. Ouch. What will happen is when I name it lat1, it will go to column L8, LET1. Yeah. So in that case, you name it as lat underscore 1. Okay. So any question about it? Okay, so if not, let's go to the next question here. What does a formula like average of B, okay, colon B do? Okay, so when you do only the name of the column, then it will treat entire column as the name range. Okay, let's take example here. I create a new sheet. Column B, I give 3, 5, 7. What is the average of 3, 5, and 7?
5.
5. Very good. So let's do that. So average, okay, average of B, what is B? Column B. Okay. You see, it will treat the entire column. Okay. Then of course the result is fine. Okay. Next. So this is a case study. So I'm computing to project annual revenue as multiple of last year revenue. Okay. The question is there a way to have the formula that look like 1 plus growth times last year? Can you practice this now? Then you create a growth of 0.1, okay? And you have years, say for example, from 2017 to 2026. The first revenue in 2017 is 300. Okay? Can you project for the whole years that you have?
Okay, sir.
Okay, let's do that. Okay. So you name the growth. Right. Okay. And when you finish, you share your screen. Yes, very good. Very good. Thanks. How about you, Livy, Joy?
Yeah, I'm done. But actually, I'm doing it in Google Sheet because in this laptop, I still haven't have Microsoft Excel just yet.
Okay.
I have one in my other laptop. So,
Yeah, at this point, Google Sheet is still okay.
oh wait, wrong one.
So can you also keep in Google Sheet?
Round this one.
Yes. And you round the numbers.
I don't know how.
Format number. Okay. There. Number. Okay.
Oh, okay. So it's similar, but I think this one don't have like the name, define name thingy.
If you change in the here, will it change the name?
Change into P4.
Growth, for example, yes. This one, the growth. Change, put in the growth, name it growth. Will it happen? I'm not sure. Oh, it works. No? Does it work? Yes, it works.
Oh, it works.
It works, yeah. So
Yeah, it works. Okay.
so it's getting better.
Yeah.
But I think the one of the weakness in Google Sheets still at this point is the solver. Later when we need to use solver, okay, you really need to use Excel at that point.
Okay.
If only the spreadsheet capability, I think the Google Sheet and Excel will be in par, yeah, almost the same. Okay. How about you, Livy? You want to share your screen? Okay. Oh, very nice. Yeah? So you did it. Very good. Okay, very good. So next, okay, is something cool that you can use in spreadsheet. Okay, when you name the entire array as one name. Okay, I will show you. Okay, say I have this value. Can you see? I will share my screen. Okay. I'll copy this. Into a new sheet so that it is only, I will put it here. So I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday until Saturday, and I have the weights and the hours. Okay. So what I will do, I will name this the entire row of the data of weights. So I name it weights. Okay. And this one, okay, from D5 to I5, I will name it at weight hours. Okay. So what happened is now I have the payroll. Okay. So let's go back here. I name it payroll. So now I will multiply weights multiplied by the hours. Okay. And I put it here. I highlight everything. Okay. And there, I got the entire value. Is that correct? Is that correct result or not? So I will check, okay?
Yes, that is correct, sir.
8 times 28, for example. Oh, that's correct, right? You see, I give one name, okay? I multiply it. Okay? Excel knows that I want to multiply one by one. Cool, right? So this is a shortcut. If you want to multiply array, okay, one by one. Okay, you try this. Does it work or not? And when you finish, you share your screen, okay?
Share my screen.
Join.
It works.
Is it? Oh, works.
Look at this one.
Yeah, that's right. Right. So even if you name it as array, okay, Excel knows how to handle one by one.
But then if we have, like, for example, it's empty
You
on
change that. Say you change that number. 45, you change it into something else. Automatically change. Good. Right. Very good, sir. Okay. Pancha, Livi?
Yes, I can share my screen. Oh, can you see?
Mm.
So I just name it from selection, make it faster, left column, and then hours,
Uh-huh.
those
Third one.
wages.
Okay. And go to the done. Okay.
Yes, 5.5 times. So yeah,
Yeah, much faster, right? Great. Great.
it works.
Maybe can you follow?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I will share my screen.
Okay, cool.
Here it is. I have changed the number. It works.
It works, right? Very good, very good. Okay. So you got the naming the range of variables. Okay. Now, the next things that I want you to learn is that we can share my screen. Okay. So we can also do what is called transpose. So remember, this is the values, right? These are the values and these are the formula. Okay. So suppose I want to transpose this, okay, from horizontal like this, I want to make it vertical, but I don't want it formula. I want to copy it as value. How to do that? I want to copy everything as value. How to do that? So how to do that? Easy. Okay. So I will copy this. I highlight everything. Can you see it? So I Control C. Okay, say I want to copy it here. Okay. So you go to paste in the home, paste, and then go to paste spatial. Okay. And then you select transpose. You don't paste all, but you paste only value. Okay. And if you look at the form here, you can actually paste as anything. Okay? You can paste it as formula, format only, the comment only. Okay. You practically have many options here that you can use. Okay. The most often used is actually to paste it as values, and of course the transpose. So when you click OK, you get it transpose. And now if you look at the column F here, okay, this is no longer formula, the payroll. A while ago was formula. Now it's become value. Okay, because it's value, say suppose you change here, for example, now become 5. So the value will be different. Okay, this is 240. And here on Wednesday is still 288. Because this is now a constant. So with this, we finish the slide on name range. Okay. Is there any question? You want to practice copy and paste as value. I think that's very easy, right? Okay, let's go to the next lesson, okay, which is lookup. Can you go to Google Classroom and open your slide on lookup function? Lookup function. Okay, so Excel has a very nice function called HLOOKUP and VLOOKUP. What is that? Right? So these are the questions that we can use, okay, related to HLOOKUP and VLOOKUP. Okay, so given the product ID, how can I look up the product price? Okay, last time, okay, I have the value of your grade, Okay, how to set the alphabet of the grading. Next, suppose that I have a product price that's changing over time, and I know the date of the product was sold. How can I write a formula to compute the product price? Okay. VLOOKUP will look up the value from the table range, and then this is not comma, so this is a lookup value. Okay. So first it will set the lookup value from the table range, and then check the table column, okay, index, and then you go to the range lookup with this true or false. Okay. If the range lookup is true, then the first column of the table must be in the ascending order. If the lookup range lookup is false, then the Excel based the lookup on the rows on the table, which is the exact months. Okay, the VLOOKUP is exactly the same as VLOOKUP. Its lookup is the same as VLOOKUP, but on horizontal. Okay. It will look at the first row instead of first column. Okay, let's practice. Okay, this is your grade. Just name. This is your name and this is the score. Okay, and these are the lookup table. So you have a table, okay, and you have the score. Okay. Give me the grade. Okay, let's practice this. Okay, how to do that? Okay, what you will do is you do a VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP of what? VLOOKUP of the score, right? And then the table range is the lookup table. Okay, and you want to show in this column D is the third column in the lookup table, which is the alphabet. Okay, and then you say true. What is true mean? True mean approximate. Okay. If you said false, it must be exactly the same as the lookup table. Okay, let's try that. Now you have the slides. So this is in practice 3. Grading. So I can show this 3 here, grading. So this is the example. Okay. First, you need to type this lookup table, of course, right? Okay. And then second, you need to type the score. Name is optional, but the score you need to type. And then third, you need to type this cell, okay, with this lookup. Okay. What will happen is if I have the score is actually 90, automatically change to 8. You see it? So if I get only 56, automatically go to C. Is that correct? 56 is C. Yeah, D is until 55, right? So then 56 is already C. That's correct. Oh, let's try it. What will happen is 55.5. Oh, still D. Smart enough.
I put my score as 15, then it shows error.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay, show me your screen.
This one. Myself as like, if it's 70, I think it's okay. But then I put myself as 15.
Oh, why? Why is error?
I don't know. Do not find value 15 in VLOOKUP.
Yes, in the lookup there is none. So if you want to do that, you put 0 on top of that. On top of 40, 0, 0.
Oh,
You put lookup table there. You put it up. Yeah. Then put it F, for example. The formula you need to change a little bit, right?
yeah.
Range. Include until F. Yes.
Hmm. Oh, because I have one here.
Yeah. You need to put 0, 0 also in the F. Probably that 0 is okay. In the E, you put probably something else. No.
Yeah, I put one. Then I got an F.
Yes. So for example, in E, you put 15. Then you try a 10. It will work. F, right?
But yeah, it works.
Correct. So when the number is out of scope from the lookup table, so of course it will generate error
Okay.
number. Yeah. It's good that you experiment with it. That's very creative of you. So now you can try the range because the range is constant, right? So that means you can rename it, okay? Instead of the reference, you can name it, for example, lookup table or LUT or whatever name that you want to put. Okay. So lookup, VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, it seems like a fascinating function that I use it almost, now it's almost 40 years. This is very important function that we always look up. So there is another table, okay, that we have, and then we want to refer to that table in our table. Okay. So it's practically like a database, a mini database that you have. Then I want to refer to that database in my spreadsheet. The lookup table is another table, mini table. Okay. Now, what will happen if you actually sort that? What will happen if in your lookup table, instead of starting with E, you start with A? Will it work? What will happen?
It doesn't matter.
No,
It does matter.
it does matter so much.
I'll try to replace it.
It does matter so much. So be careful when you use lookup table. Okay, I will show you how it does matter. Okay, so I have my lookup table here, right? And let's sort it, okay? Let's sort this. Where is the sort here? Let's sort this based on the first column, which is E, not from the smallest. Now I make it from the largest to smallest, right? From A to E, okay? What will happen? Now it generates error, and it's even if not error, wrong. right? Why is it wrong? Because if you use a lookup table, especially with the range lookup true, okay, this must be in the ascending order, not descending order. Okay, so you really need to make it smallest to largest. Then you will get the result correct. Okay, your lookup table matters. So this is the tips. Okay, sometimes you will think, oh, it doesn't matter, right? As long as I just type lookup table, it will work. No, it doesn't work because, okay, remember in the slide a while ago, okay, let's share the screen. So the range lookup argument is true. Okay, then the column, the first column in the table must be in the ascending numerical order. And the lookup table, the VLOOKUP, okay, the first column of the lookup table must be numbers, okay, not ABC. Okay, numerical order. Okay, yeah, any question? You okay? Try that grading. Livy, you want to show your screen?
Actually, I
No, it works.
this one works, but cannot be less than 40 if I input 28.
You can. Your E2, go to E2 and change it to 15. Enter. Go to cell C4. E3. There. Your lookup table, the range is not correct.
You have to lock it, right, with dollar.
You need to put it from E1, not E3. In your formula, there. See? Yes. There. Oh, it works, right? Good. Okay.
Sir,
Yes, please
the VLOOKUP, the lookup table has to be ascending or descending. Actually, wait, mine. Hold on. Like this one. This is incorrect because it it gives me this, right?
This is incorrect. Yeah.
Oh, so this is the correct one. So it has to be ascending down.
Ascending order.
Okay, yeah.
Increasing.
Increasing.
Yeah.
As it goes down, increasing, right?
Correct.
Yes.
So the lookup table, what matters is the first column of the lookup table.
First column here.
First column
Okay.
of the lookup table. Okay. So Excel will only look at the first column of the lookup table. And then it will go to the column.
Also, we don't actually need this one.
You don't really need that one. Yes.
I move it here and then change it into 2.
It works.
Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, it still works.
It works. Okay. So the most important is the first column.
Yeah.
Great.
So we have to tell Excel the range. It like it figures out itself.
Yes.
From 0 to 819, then 20 it would be D, something like that. Right.
Yes. So what Excel does is like what you are doing, but for human eyes, this is complicated, isn't it? For human eyes. So that's why I put the second column.
Okay.
And the VLOOKUP be in a different sheet, like over a different, so we take it from another sheet, is it possible?
It's this. Just let's try. Can we
We use
write
the
this like
exclamation mark, right?
you can just select it from like I'm still on the formula here and then select it and then here, right? It becomes sheet 2, then
Yeah, it will give you the exclamation.
So it's
Right,
not.
so yeah. So you can go to the other table, the other sheet to put your table, and then refer it to another sheet. Make it organized, right? Your data. Instead of a double quote like that, why don't you just name it?
sorry.
Your lookup table, you put it into LUT.
Oh yeah, we can. Yeah, I didn't do that. So we just name it the whole table, like
Yeah, LUT, for example. Lookup table. Enter.
LUT, and then
There, the range is become LUT.
yes, yeah.
That's
You don't have to do the okay.
nicer. The same thing.
Yes.
Yes. Very good. So let's do the next exercise, okay? The next exercise is about the price of the product. Okay, so I will share my screen. So given the product ID, so this is, you can name the product ID whatever you want, okay? And here, the product ID is not necessarily numbers. Okay? Remember earlier, I said the lookup table, okay? You put it in the ascending order, right? And must be, the first column must be numbers. Okay? So now I have a product ID which is clearly not numbers and not ascending order. Okay? How can I look up the product price? So this is the lookup table that I have, very simple. Now, the yellow part in H5 there is the one that I typed. Okay, so I want to look at the product ID, this one. Then it will generate the price. And you make it. Okay, something else, right? Because earlier you said if not ascending order, it doesn't work. Right? But this time it works. Why? Okay, tell me. You try first, make it work, and then now explain to me why. Why does it work?
Because it is false.
Correct. Correct.
Lookup range.
Okay.
Because it doesn't see the range. It just matches the price with the product ID. So it has to be a perfect match.
So when you put the lookup range as false, right? Then it is just getting the match. Okay. So in that case, you can put string, you can put numbers, whatever you want. Okay, even Boolean, that's fine. Because it's just matching. Okay. Okay, try that. Can you make it? So this is my example. I create the product ID whatever I want. Okay. And then here, okay, the VLOOKUP, okay, instead of true in the end, I make it false, the range lookup. Okay. And then of course now I can change this product ID. So what will happen if I put XYZ32? Oh, now become 3.751, right? What will happen if I have, I will try something that is not in the lookup table, okay? JJJ213, oh, not available. So that product ID is not in the database. Yeah, the database is our lookup table, right? So SG56J, oh, there, we don't know, 7.14.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes,
Can we
please.
set it, so for example, there is no product. So for example, we use ABC, AB1,
Oh,
2, C.
yes, yes,
Can
yes.
we set it to like, say like, if it's not in the lookup table, we set it to say something like not found instead of being an error.
Okay, so how you do that? So that's very nice. Okay, so what you will do is if not, right?
Oh, yeah.
Then what is the value if not? You said not found. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's actually, oh yeah.
Okay, so I will put anything here, not found. Right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay,
So Excel actually has a lot of functions.
a lot of function. So what you need to do is actually reading all this function in the help file. Okay, and then check which one is actually useful for you. Okay. Anyway, we will do a few functions in our classes, okay, which is usually, in my experience, these are the most useful and most often used, okay. But of course, they are not exhaustive, so meaning that there are other functions that probably you will use, then you go to the help file. Okay, so you go to formula. For example, here you say you want to do a Bessel function, for example. Say in the engineering, okay, Bessel function. This is, for me, this is very rare to use. Okay, I don't know if you are in the, so then you can see, you can put the name here. This is the example, and then you can, if you don't understand this, so you go to help on this function. Okay. There, it will give you the help. And this is the syntax and so on. Even this is the formula they will give you. Okay. So there are too many formulas that we can, okay, these are built-in formula, right? There are too many built-in formulas that we can actually handle in this class, but you can just read it on your own, okay? So you will see there is a bit of operation, complex numbers, okay, decimal to binary, hexadecimal, and so on. Okay. So many. So what we are doing is practically on the lookup. Okay. H lookup here and V lookup. Okay. Did you finish this practice? Just looking at the product price, right? So if you want to handle business, or you want, say, your parent asks you to help in their business, so you can start to use Excel, okay? Okay. Next practice Okay. We will use X lookup instead of V lookup. We will use X lookup. Okay. Now, suppose that a product price is actually changed over time. So these are the historical change of the price. So on certain date, the price change. Okay? On certain date, the price change. For example, from 7.15 now becomes 6.15. Okay? And so now is 2021, right? So the price still did not change yet, still 7.52. Now, if I know the date of the product, okay, I know the date of the product was sold. How can I write a formula to compute the product price? Okay, and then of course, if I know the price and I know how many items sold, I can calculate the revenue, right? Over time. So what you will do is first you change that into Excel. So here's the date. Can you see it? And now the one in yellow is the one that I type. Okay. And then the price here. So you use X lookup because your table is actually horizontal, right? So you go to this lookup table, okay, and the lookup value that you want is the date. So in C10 here, and the lookup table I make it into a double anchor, right? Or you can rename it as your lookup table, and then I have the second row. This is row, right? The second row, which is the price, and then true. What does that mean? True. True means approximate. Okay, not exact match. So now I have the date of February 16, 2019, which is not in the lookup table, right? But it can actually give me the price at that time. Yes. So how about this? I change this, for example, now. Now it's still 7.52. Okay, try to practice this. And then you share your screen. Okay. Anyone want to share your screen? It's up to you. Actual date, actual price is up to you to fill up.
So can I share my screen? I have
Go ahead, Livy.
this one, sir. When I type the date, this is okay, but this is automatically changed.
Okay.
So,
You just change this custom there. Date. The one in the past.
this one.
Yes. Make it into what do you want? Short date.
Oh, okay.
You can change any date. Okay, it's up to you.
Well, it's okay. Yes.
Yes. Last one is a little bit strange that this is 10/19. So I think you need to put it 20/19, right? Otherwise, okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
And then we put the price. Now, important is this. The date must be in ascending order. Okay. The date must be in order. Because you use true later in the age lookup. Okay. Anyone want to share your screen that you finish or you have problem? Go ahead.
I can share my screen, sir. Here, so I create this and then we make the date. So I use lookup. I call this price LUT. Oh, change. Sorry, this is actually has to be changed LUT. Change LUT.
Okay.
And then row index number. We are going to take the price or 2, right? And then range lookup true. And yeah, so 18 December 2009. So between this, it's still 785.
Correct. Okay. Then copy it.
Yeah.
Good.
So yeah, we get the.
Okay. So
I think it's
price time the sales is the revenue.
yes. So
okay. Very easy. So now you get your revenue.
yeah.
Great, great.
Okay.
Joy, you want to share your screen?
Yeah, sure.
It works, huh? Even in Google Sheet.
Yeah, I'm still using Google Sheet.
Yeah.
But Google Sheet, like not like Excel. When I drop down, but when I use the table, it will move. So I better rename the whole thing into like price.
Yes.
Won't move. Looks just fine.
Very good. Excellent. Yes. Vivi, did you finish it?
Almost, sir.
Almost. Okay. So right now there are many spreadsheets, okay? Not only Google Sheet, there are also calc, okay, in OpenOffice that you can also use if you want to use.
It is open source, right, sir?
Open
OpenOffice.
source, yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And it's like totally free.
Totally free, correct. And Google Sheet is also free.
Yeah. But well, you know Google.
Oh yeah, Google is keep changing. So when there are so many people using it, so they start to monetize. But OpenOffice is until now still free, and when it goes to open source, then I don't think they will be able to take it back. If you have capability and you have willingness to contribute, you can also contribute to the open source community. This is like giving back to the community, right? Well, of course, after some time, if your contribution is quite good, so your name will be on it, and yeah, that's a part of your legacy, right? So go ahead. Before, okay, people think that giving away is always go to the, like orphanage or church or something. But right now, you can also give back to the community through your capability in programming and in your science, okay, in the open source community. Livy, I'm waiting for you.
Oh yeah, I'm there. Okay, let me see my screen.
So just make sure that everyone is okay. Oh, it works. Yes, 814. That's great. Very good. Okay. So with this, we finish the second slide. Wow, very fast, huh? So probably I need to work harder to make more slides for you. Okay. So the third slide now. That's good because we will learn more. So let's go. You go to the Google Classroom and download the third slide, which is index and matching. Right. So index and match function. You see it? Yes. So the syntax is something like this, okay? Index, okay, you have an array or a matrix. Index is either you have an array or a matrix, okay? And then the next is row number and column number, okay? Start from 1. So you have a matrix, okay? And in that matrix, give me, okay, the cell of that matrix. If I give you the row and column, that's the meaning of index. Index is simply you have a table and then get the cell of that table, the value of the cell of that table. Okay. Second is matching function. Matching is a lookup value. It's similar to lookup, VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP. And then you have a lookup range and then match type. Or what's the difference with lookup? Okay. So these are the questions that you can use index and matching. Say, suppose I have a list of distance between cities. Okay, so if you finish your assignment that I gave for computing the distance, now you have not only one distance, but you have a list of distance between cities. Okay, how do I write the function that return the distance between the two cities? Okay. Next, is there a way that I can write a formula that reference the entire column containing the distance between each city and a city of my choice. Okay, so given the distance. Next, for a business, okay, given the monthly sales of several products, how do I write a formula that returns the sales of a product during the specific month? For example, how much is the product 2 did I sell to how much? Yeah, during June. So next question, given the list of CEO salaries, how do I write a formula that yield the CEO with the highest salary? How about to get the 5th highest salary? Okay. These are the example of question that you can actually use index and max function. Okay, next is given the debt, the interest, and the payment, create the monthly cash flow. How do I write a formula that returns the number of months required to pay back the project initial investment cost? Oh, something nice, right? So now you have investment, okay? You have the cost, you have the interest, okay? Get the monthly cash flow, and then get when, okay? When you will pay back everything. So this is the lesson that we will learn in this slide. Okay, what is index? Index function allow you to return the entry of any row and column within the array of numbers. For example, index of A1 to D12 to 3. What's the meaning? It will show you the second row and the third column of that table. Okay, let's practice, okay? Create a simple table like this, A, B, C, D, and then you give any numbers there. Okay, so the question is, what will be the value of index table 2.1, 2.2, 4.2, and 4.1? Okay, try. So let's try it. I will close this one. Don't save. And create a new one. Okay. Let me see. I have a table here, so I will put it in P2. I name it table. So I have A, B, C, D, and I give any numbers. Okay, I like 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 8. Okay. So then I want to know what is the value of index. That table, okay. This is the table. So what will happen if I have the index of table 1.1? What will happen? Of course, it will give me 8. Right? What will happen if I have the index of 2.1? It will give me 2. 2.
Why is it 2?
Why is it 2? Oh, I know. I know because
Oh, it's you haven't selected the table yet.
I did not put the table yet. That's why. Okay, so how about it is if it is an index of table, say 2.2? Oh, there. So this is the table. So of course the index will give that value, right? So practice 4, is that correct? So now I have a distance. So this is the real distance I got from Google and type it one by one for the games. Okay, so now if I have the distance like this is the distance matrix, right? So I want to get the distance from one city to the next city. Okay, say from Surabaya to Banjarmasin. How can I get the distance? This is the challenge, okay? Say in here I give name is Denpasar. Denpasar to Banjarmasin. Oh, is that correct? Denpasar to oh there, correct. That's correct. The distance is now 567. So how do you do that? This is your next challenge. How do you do that? Okay, you create the distance. You can create the distance matrix first. Or you want me to copy this and send you to Google Spreadsheet, to Google Classroom. Okay, and save this as whatever it is. Oh, yeah, okay. So distances. Okay, keeping cities in Indonesia. Oh, I have it already. Okay. I have it already. Distances between cities in Indonesia. Oh yeah, exactly the same. Okay, I will share this in Google Classroom. Let's see. Okay. Browse. Excel. But you don't need to type. There. Mhm. And then the topic is spreadsheet function, right? Okay, so yeah, yeah. So you can download this. Otherwise, you will type everything very long. So I have the distances here. Now I want to use index. How I will use the index? So if I want to use the index, okay, so what I will do is I will do insert rows and I will do an insert column here, right? So I give number 1 plus 1, so I copy. Okay, and this one is also the same. So 1, this one plus 1, I copy. So this is the number of the row and the number of columns.
Sorry, you're not sharing your
I'm not sharing my
screen.
screen. I'm not sharing my screen. Okay, yeah. Okay, I will repeat again. So I have this sheet. Can you see it? And I insert the row. and I insert the column, right? Then here I put number 1, and then 1 plus 1 become 2, and I copy it. The same thing here, I put 1, okay, plus 1, and copy. So when I want to use the index, basically what I will do is to get the rows and the column. Okay, so this is from 2, right? And then this one is the distance. So from row 1, for example, to, okay, from row 1 to column, for example, to column 2. The distance is simply index, right? Index of what? Index of this. Okay. Then what is the row? The row is here. What is the column? This is the column. I close it. Oh, there. Is that correct? From row 1 to, oh, there. From Ambon to Banjarmasin. Correct, right? So now I can change it from Denpasar, which is row 3. I want to go to Surabaya, which is column 7. Is that correct? From Denpasar to Surabaya is 298. That's correct. So that's how you use the index. So you have a table, okay, and you have the row and the column. Then you want to get the cell. That's the meaning of index. Is it clear? Okay.
Yes, I think it's clear, sir.
Super, huh? So what you will do is let's go to the next function, which is max function. Okay. So this is the max function. Okay. Max function will have at least 2. One is the lookup value and then lookup range. Okay. And the last parameter is max type, which is optional. Okay. So the lookup value is the value that you're trying to match, right? The lookup range is like the lookup table. Okay, so lookup range is the range that you're examining for a match. Okay, this is matching. Okay, now the lookup range must be a row or column. Okay, now the match type is either 0, -1, or +1. Okay, if you put the match type equal 1, that means the lookup range consists of numbers in ascending order. Okay, it will return the row location in the lookup range that contain the largest value. Okay, the largest value in the range that is less than or equal to the lookup value. When your match type is -1, it assumes that your lookup range again consists of numbers but listed in descending order. Okay, what it will return? It will return the row location in the lookup range that contain the last value in the range that is greater than or equal to the lookup value. When your match type is 0, it will return the row location in the lookup range that contain the first exact match. Okay, 0 means exact match. Okay. So to understand this, let's create an array of A, B, C. Okay, so let's try this. I create a new sheet. So I have A, B, C, D. This is my array. Okay, can you see it? Can you see my spreadsheet?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I just type A, B, C, D, right? Then I will say match B in the array. So let's name this A, B, C, D as array. Okay, and then match A in the lookup table is this. What is this one mean? What does that mean if Excel give me 1 in here? It means the A is in the first row, right? So what will happen? Let's try. If this is instead of A, I want to make it D. Oh, it will give me 4. What does it mean? It said that match is actually give me back the row, okay? From the array, where is D? D is in the 4th row. Is it clear or not? So let's try create array of this one. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is the number now. Okay. Let's do that. So I create a new sheet. Okay, so I will give any numbers. 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, any numbers that I want. Oh, wait. Let's make it ascending. So 4, 5, 6, and 6, 7, 9. This is, if you look at the number, this is getting bigger. And what happened if I do a match? Okay, I will give match of 200. Lookup array is this one. And I put 1. Okay. Because I want to do it with copy. So is it correct? How about if I put it -1? It doesn't work, right? Why? Why it doesn't work? Because this is in ascending order. Okay, you look at the slide a while ago. Okay, if you use -1, okay, the numbers must be in descending order. Okay, so if you put type is equal 1, the number must be listed in ascending order. So our number is in ascending order. So this must be 1. So 200 is in the first row, approximately. How about 350? 350 is in the, supposed to be in second row, right? Okay. This is the approximate. How about 700? If I put 700 here, supposed to be in the 4th row. Or what happened if I make it 100? Not available. Okay, should be above the one that in the array of the lookup table.
It's if the match type is 1, right, sir?
If the match type is 1, correct. If the match type is negative, then your value must be in the other one, the other order. I copy here, okay, and I sort it from largest to smallest, okay. Then I can get that. max lookup value. Okay, let's do this. The lookup value is 350. I will put it here. And this is my lookup value. So I'm the yellow. And the max is in here. So max lookup value is this one. The array is this one. Okay. Now you said I want to make it negative one. What will happen? So now we come to, now we come correct. 350, is that correct? In the second row. That is less than this, less than 456, right? 350 is in the second row because this is less than 456. If you put this is 700, it will not work. But if you put this 100, it will work. Similarly, so I will put the lookup value here. I will put 200 earlier. Change this. Okay. The lookup value, and put it here. Okay. This is the meaning of match. Okay, so match will return to us the row, okay, of an array. Can you try this on your own to gain the understanding?
Sir, I have a question.
Please.
Why is it none? I don't know why I have tried to.
Okay, give me the num. Which one is num?
This one.
Okay. And you have it in ascending order. Oh, I know why. Because your maths is a string, so you need to put it without string because your lookup value is actually a number, right? Okay, without string there.
Okay.
Okay, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, now you can change that into say 350. What will happen? 350. Oh, what's the meaning? White rose one.
Because it is less than 357.
Yes, because it's above the 246. Okay, that means it will give you the row with its less than.
Okay.
Okay, the largest with its less than. Okay. Now, if you know this match function, okay, now let's return back to our cities a while ago. Okay, our cities. A while ago, our cities is using index, right? Using index from 3 to 7, but I don't want 3 to 7. I want from Surabaya to Ambon. Okay. How to do that? So I want the name of the city, not a number. So what I will do is to get the maths, okay? I will get the maths. What is the lookup value? This row, right? What is the lookup array? What is the lookup array? This city, okay? Ambon, Banjarmasin, and Surabaya. This is the lookup array. Okay. And then what is the match type? 0. Should be exact match, right?
You have to select the 1 to 7 too as well, sir. You didn't select the 1 to 7, I think.
1 to 7. Oh, yeah. No. I need to put the name of the city. So I need to put in here Surabaya. Okay. And I will get the match here. Match of that lookup value. And then I will get that array and 0. So Surabaya will get row 7. Is that correct? Surabaya is row 7.
Yes, that's correct.
Correct. Yeah? The same thing here. I will say Ambon. Okay. So I copy. So that I can copy this. So what I will do is I put Angkor, right? And I copy. There, Ambon is 1. Okay. So in that case, I will get the distance. How to get the distance? The same, yeah, index. Index of what? Index of this array, right? And then the column is this one. The row is this one. So now I have put it here. So I know if I have Surabaya and Ambon, the value is 1754. Is that correct? Yeah, Ambon, from Surabaya to Ambon is 1754. Okay, let's change it to Banjarmasin. Oh, that's correct, right? So from Surabaya to Banjarmasin is 480. So okay, using index and match, okay, now you can put name, okay, and you can get the distance. My question to you, but this one I have, okay, the numbers here, right? Of course, I can hide this one, right? But at the same time, can I just put all together in one formula? Can I put all together?
Yes, we just do the index and replace the D15 and E15 with match.
Correct. Okay, let's do that. Okay, once I do that.
Wait, sir, I cannot share my screen right now.
Okay. Livy or Joy, can you go to the distance between cities? Okay, and you have 2 cells from city to cities, and then it will give you the distance between cities. Great. Yeah. Simple challenge, right? Something like this. This. I have a distance between cities, it is Denpasar and Banjarmasin. So then my formula will be index, okay, of that A1 to HH with this distance matrix. Okay. And then it will give me the match and match. Okay. from Denpasar to Banjarmasin. That's 5, 6, 7. That's correct. Yeah. So, can you make this? Next is I want to get the sum. Okay, using this table again. I want to get the sum from one city. For example, if I type Medan, what is the sum of all? What is the sum of distance between Medan to all cities? So, okay. In this case, I want to get the distances. If sum of the index distances matching. So this is the next one. Say in here I have Surabaya. Okay. So then all the distances from Surabaya to all cities. We can also use sum, okay, of the index is on the distance matrix, okay, and then you match, okay, of the rows, and then the column is 0. This is another way, but of course this is too much. Okay, if you want to get the sum of one row, you don't need to make it this complicated. You simply do a sum. Sum of this, the result will be exactly the same. So this is just to make your life more complicated using index and matching. Okay. Until here, is there any question or you want to share your screen? Ancha, is it working in your case? Or Joy?
Yes, sir. It's clear for me.
I think our time is up, so you can continue to practice this, okay? And we can continue next practice, next meeting, okay, the sales and so on.
Sir,
Yes.
definitions. Here, but I think mine it's not correct, but I still figure it out.
So from Banjarmasin to Jakarta, I think miss one. Okay, if you make it difficult, so try to do it one by one. Okay, so the first row, first you make the match of the row, next time you make match of the column. B19. B19 is, where is the, Okay, the Banjarmasin. And then B4 until B10. Okay, so if you want to match like this, so the match must be B3 until B10. Because your index is also from the matching. This
Or
one,
from this one.
this one.
This one.
Yes,
Oh,
in B3, right? Not B4. Okay, that's it. Okay, enter. I think it worked correctly. Is it correct? Banjarmasin to Jakarta. Is that? So you cannot copy without anchoring.
uh, this one, right?
Yeah, you can use F4, function 4.
F4. Oh, okay.
Also that one, you select and then function 4,
This.
enter. Is that correct?
No, I think.
Correct, no? Banjarmasin to Jakarta is 970, correct.
Oh, yeah. This one.
Okay, try other cities.
But this one is not correct, sir, I think.
Yeah, now you copy, but before copy, you anchor first.
Copy what, sir?
If you want to, you did not anchor this formula.
We anchored from this to this, or
Okay, this is your assignment. Which one you need to anchor? This is important. In the first lesson, remember. Because in spreadsheet, the most important part is to know which one to anchor, which one is not to anchor. So the index, what is the meaning of the index? The index is a table, right? Then that means you need to anchor that. The B3 to B10, you need to anchor, double anchor. And then the match, B19, do you need to anchor it or not? Wait, go up. No, go up to cell.
oh, wait.
Yes, in here, the match B19, do you need to anchor it?
Yes. Wait, P19.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
You don't need to anchor that, right? The same thing with T19, you don't need to anchor. So everything else, you need to anchor. That's correct already. Now you press enter and copy it down. Okay. Speed and Basar to Medan, correct? 2, 2, 2. Okay, perfect. Okay, you can even copy down whatever you want. And
okay.
write from where to where. It will give you the distance. Okay, very good. Joy, is there any problem that you face?
No, probably because I'm using spreadsheets. I think I must study again when Excel because it's a bit different, right?
Yeah.
I'll practice like later after class once I got my normal laptop back.
Okay, okay. Okay, so see you next week. I hope you enjoy this class.
Yeah, thank you, sir. See you
Thank
next
you.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bye.
oh,
You still have a question? Vivi? No?
I want to ask about the name one. So,
Hmm. Go ahead.
mm, so this one. forgot the naming one, sir.
Naming in the beginning.
Yeah, the slide 2.
Hmm. What is the question?
Okay, wait. I forgot where I put it.
Usually I put each slide numbers. So practice 2, practice 3, practice 4 based on the slide name, so that easier to organize.
Slide 2.
I can open that.
That one that is in
So this is the name, the naming.
the naming, yes, the naming, and like the workbook and shippings.
This one.
Yes,
Okay, which part? The city, the growth, or the wages?
the growth.
The growth. Okay.
Yeah.
So in the growth, you give growth here, and then you name it growth in the name box. Okay. And then this is just numbers, right? You just type. In the beginning, you put 300 here. Formula. So 1 plus growth multiplied by earlier. So,
Oh,
right, earlier. After that, you copy them.
oh, okay. And how about the name manager? The first two part.
Naming of
Yeah, the naming.
you, which one? The city or the growth or the wages?
Wait,
Okay, or you share your screen. I know what you mean.
this one. About this one. This one I kind of confused.
Are you still confused with this? Okay.
Yeah.
The scoping, you mean the scoping. Okay.
Yes.
If you look at this, the scope, there are two kinds of scope, okay? One is the workbook. Okay. The second one is the worksheet. So you know the difference between workbook and worksheet. Workbook mean when they said workbook mean the entire file. Okay, the Excel file. When they call worksheet is one sheet, each sheet. So one book consists of many sheets, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So when we say worksheet is sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, sheet 4. So now you can define the scope. Okay. The first time you define a name, it will be automatically workbook. Okay. And then if you go to the next sheet, then you need to define. If you define it the same name, it will define it as worksheet variables, not workbook. Okay. Now, if you want to refer that name in another sheet, okay, then you need to name it sheet, the sheet name, and then exclamation, and then the name of the variable. Okay, so I give you an example. So let's give an example and make a new sheet. I will show my screen. So this is a new sheet. Okay, I'm in sheet 4, right? So let's give numbers here, 1, 2, 3, and let's name it ABC, right? So then I put here formulas, create from selection on the left, then what will happen? This 1, 2, 3 is right. 1, 2, 3 value. What is the scope? The scope is workbook, right? Remember the name is ABC. Okay. So if I want to put like this, equal ABC plus 2, what is the result? 1, 2, 3 plus 2 is 1, 2, 5. Correct? So this ABC is in the sheet 4. Now, if I go a new sheet here, sheet 5, if I want to refer, okay, ABC plus 2, okay, there it will become 125. But in sheet 5, this is now in sheet 5, right? I define again ABC here. Okay, and this ABC is not 1, 2, 3, but 4, 5, 6. Okay, what happened? The same name, okay, ABC also. Okay, I create from selection, exactly the same. Okay, now it changed, now become ABC plus 2 become 4, 5, 6. Not 1, 2, 3. So what happened? Because Excel will use the local sheet. Oh, but I want it different. Okay, I want it from sheet 4, right? Then I go to sheet 4, and I want to get that ABC. Okay, and then I want to put plus 2 now. Okay, so that ABC, I need to put it sheet 4 with exclamation point, okay, of ABC. There, it will become, it will refer to okay, sheet 4, okay, okay, sheet 4 ABC. It is here. Okay, so I have so many book here, so let me close it so that not confuse you. There. Oops. So Excel automatically named my sheet 4 become book 5. Okay.
Okay.
Is it clear or?
Yeah, I understand now.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.